statement.
It's good to get a win. Win number 2 here at home. So after a tough opening season loss, to win 2 in a row. Great win. Great crowd today, man. That was awesome to see the number of fans here at Scheumann Stadium. Family weekend. Weather was awesome. Good win. Obviously, good and bad. I'm very proud of our defense, the way they finished the game there for us. Really, for the most part, you talk about some momentum-changing turnovers that our defense created that really kind of covered the offenses back a little bit, if you will. So very proud of our defensive effort overall, and especially there at the end, to finish the game off when they had a big play to start that drive. Then they had a couple more, and they got down there in the red zone. And then our defense, they took them backwards. So it was great to see there. And then, for them to finish it off there on 4th down, us come on the field to get into victory formation. So great win, great team win. Things we got to clean up offensively. Not as sharp as we have been. Good opening drive of the game, but after that, really not our best effort. Very sluggish. We had 3 turnovers to their 2, so losing the turnover battle obviously is disappointing. That is a recipe that got us obviously in trouble a year ago. We've been good, but we got to get that fixed. But like I said, it's good to get a win here at home. Great weather. We got to correct some mistakes tomorrow. And get ready to get ourselves going for Western Kentucky.
Coach, so talking about that sack, more sack there in the end of the game, he came through unblocked, and it really seemed like one of the reasons for that is that they've been double-teaming Wimbush all day, and that freed him up. How important is that presence of Wimbush for those kind of plays?
Well, he's going to command double teams. He's going to command attention. It was a great call by Coach Ellison, bringing some edge pressure right there. David Moore is one of those guys that he thrives on that. No different than him coming off the edge to block a punt last week. I mean, he loves when he has that opportunity. So it was a great job by Coach Ellison with that call right there, and Demo executed it. It was good to see.
And then, Tennessee Tech there, 3 for 4 scoring in the red zone, but only one of those was a touchdown. What did you see from the defense in the red zone?
Well, you're talking about our defense? Yeah, obviously they did a good job of what I would say bending but not breaking. And I think it just came down to execution. They got themselves down there, and our defense just kept fighting the fight and getting themselves off the field or forcing them to settle for a field goal. So that's what you want to see. You want to see if your defense does, get down into the red zone, and you want to see them play tough defense at that point in time. And, as you always say, you want to bend but don't break. And I thought our defense did a great job stepping up in those situations.
Mike, you talked about the inconsistencies at times, but there's a lot of value in winning. And how much can winning really kind of boost you going forward?
Well, I think it is going to show our guys that, hey, man, every week is a new challenge. Every week's a new week. You got to put the work in. You got to be hungry. You got to buy in 100% to the game plan. Make sure you know what you're doing. So, in a lot of ways, having a win like this and not playing our best football, that's something that can turn into a positive. And I think for us tomorrow when we get to the tape, we watch it and our guys see for themselves the mistakes that were made, and then obviously that leads right into a great Tuesday practice, which is what we expect to have. So you don't get style points. It's a win or a loss, and so hey, it's a win for us. We'll take it. Give Tennessee Tech credit, coming a long way and playing hard. So we got to make some corrections. We got to continue to progress. Each week's a new week for our young players. There's a lot of guys, not just freshmen. There's a lot of young players that are playing ball for the first time. So we got to continue to clean up our mistakes and get better.
Talk about the effort of your running backs after James goes down. Malik has that big run. What did you see out of your 2 backups that you liked today?
They presented some tough looks, defensively. They obviously everybody is out to stop the run versus us right now, with James being the kind of back he is, with Huntley, with the Malik Dunner being a big play guy like he is. So I'm proud of those guys because it took churning out and trying to find a way to get loose wasn't easy to do. But our guys stayed the course up front, continued to block and against some tough looks, and they created a couple creases there where Malik split that big one, which was nice to see. You had James on a big one, a couple big ones, and you had Caleb Huntley also had a big one there in the 4th quarter. So it was good to see each one of those guys have a big play at one point in the game. He'll be. I expect him to be fine. So don't really have much info right now, other than he was unable to return there. But hopefully he'll be fine and get him back here this week.
And I know the injuries. How's Vinny doing?
Yeah, we lost Vinny there. let's hope that, he'll probably be day to day, and, we'll learn more about his injury tomorrow and even on Monday. So we're hoping that we can get him back here on the practice field and, possibly get him back here for this week.
What exactly was it?
He just tweaked the knee, there in the first half, and so was kind of unable to return, braced him up, but hopefully kind of get it under control and see if we can't get him back.
Talked a little bit about the O-line earlier, and they seem to be giving Riley a lot of time and open up a few good plays. What would you say about their performance?
No, especially with a lot of new faces in there. Curtis Blackwell played a lot of football today. Zach Ricketts played a lot of football today. We got some young players in there for the first time. And Andrew Painish, really, after being out last year, his third game back from injury. So I thought those guys really handled themselves well. And especially, again, when you're a freshman like that, or you're a young player playing a lot of snaps for the first time, and you're faced with some of the looks that we saw, you got to, in a lot of ways, you got to adjust on the fly and trust what you're getting through the week of practice and make sure that you execute when that look presents itself. And that's, that's challenging, but those guys really responded very well.
How would you evaluate Riley's performance through 3 games?
He's really been in command of our offense. That's the biggest difference you notice in Riley Neu. And even when something, negative happens like it did today, he had the 2 interceptions there. And, immediately when the play was over, he's able to regain his composure. No big deal. Go right back out the next play. I think at the end of the first half there tells you a lot about him from a, being much more of a mature, intelligent football player, leading us on a 2-minute drive there after we got the turnover defensively. That was huge for us to go in the half on a high note after we really kind of struggled. After that opening drive, we didn't play great football. We didn't execute at a high level. So for him to get us kind of settled down and lead us on that drive was big.
Coach, you guys entered today's game converting about 60% of your third down, 7 of 13 today. What is it about this team compared to last year's teams that is responsible for that big difference?
Well, we spend a lot of time, game plan, preparation-wise, self-scout-wise. We look at what we've done the first couple of weeks, and you always want to tweak things. You want to change things up so you're not presenting your opponent with the same look. So credit goes to Coach Joey Lynch and Coach DeVan and making sure that we're sound, number one, from a protection standpoint against our third down pressures. Then you got to execute, putting your guys in a position, putting your playmakers in a position to make some plays. And Riley's seeing the field well. He's seeing the field well and executing at a high level in critical situations.
I don't think Lamar Anderson has played the first 2 games. He played today.
Correct.
You guys in tackles.
Yeah, he was out the first 2 games, so he returned to the lineup today. He played some snaps and did some good things. I think you saw for him, it was a hot day, and he kind of went down a couple times there in the game with cramping and all that. So, which for your first action and coming back and it's 85 degrees, that's a tough deal. But Lamar is going to continue to play a role for us as the season unfolds here.
And then, he was involved. I think it was his foot the ball bounced off of on Ruth. Is that his name?
Yeah, I didn't get a great look at that. I'm anxious to see that on the tape there, but I'm just glad that our guys capitalized on that and were there to make the play. So I'm anxious to see that on tape because I didn't have a good angle where I was at there.
Yeah, and then, but on that note, Ruth had a lot of playing time today. I know Jake White was out. How would you evaluate both Ruth and Jeremiah Jackson, all the guys filling in there?
Well, proud of them for stepping up, taking on a significant number of snaps from what they played probably the first 2 weeks, and they're still both younger guys, and so that's good because every scenario, every weekend when those guys are playing, it's kind of baptism by fire. So you're proud of they took a couple bumps and bruises here and there, on some broken tackles where they probably got, but for them to bounce back there and continue to fight the fight and play the game. So there's a lot of good tape to evaluate there, and a lot of things obviously for us that we got to clean up.
Teams are going to pay a lot more attention to Anthony Winbush going forward. He continues to play well. How does he prepare himself now with kind of the target on his back and understand what teams are trying to do?
Well, you hope that when Anthony commands attention or double team like that and they're trying to pay attention to him, that the other guys are able to thrive off of that. The inside guys Kevin Willis, John Swisher, Reggie McGee, young, Christian Albright with his, I think, first sack today as a freshman. So those guys should reap the rewards of a guy like Anthony commanding that much attention, getting double teamed. So, but, those guys start to make some plays and get some production, then they'll stop taking, they'll have to stop paying so much attention to Anthony if other guys are able to step up when they have an opportunity. So that's going to continue to happen. Anthony's a great football player. That's going to continue to happen, and we just be prepared for it. And he's got to, make sure he's in great condition for 4 quarters and mentally tough enough to know that that's going to be part of the game plan each and every week.
Take one more question.
All right, no more. How about that? All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.